I'm seeing people starting to pop in on the viewer count, which is pretty cool. All right, well, see that, yeah. Make sure I got things set correctly. Hello, I'm Odin, and welcome to the Odin Makes Sunday live stream. I'm here doing the whole live stream thing. Hey, angry with my computer because I don't know why, but so the hardware can see the internet, which is good because that means I've got connection and things can be going out. This is also a test. But for whatever reason, and I don't know why, my computer, my laptop, refuses to see the internet except through Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, that's a good thing, right? I can see it. That means I can control things on YouTube and I can interact with Discord and the chat. But Wi-Fi doesn't talk to my Blackmagic switcher that I actually use for streaming, so I can't drop pictures on it or update anything on it. Anyway, it seems to be working, so let's just roll with it. Make sure I got my chat set correctly here. Ah, there we are. Wow. Lots of people were commenting, but somehow they didn't make it into top chat. Lovely. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway. Awesome. So, Marvel Guy's here, of course. And I've got Dan Does Junk saying hello. Hello, Dan. Thank you for being a moderator and always hanging around. And Shop Gremlin is here, also a moderator and always hanging around. Much, much appreciated. Alrighty. Where am I at? What's going on? So about 2 hours ago, I took the two halves of the motherboard pieces that we cut out last week, or the week before, or whenever that was, and glued them together. So they're on the floor behind me, drying still. I want to make sure I give them a couple of hours to really set up before I start moving them around, because I don't want to. I mean, it's wood glue. It takes a little while for it to set up. You all know that. It's not terribly warm in here, but it is warmer than outside. So it's probably pretty dang good right now, but I want to give it a little more time. So I'm going to let it sit, and I'm going to stall for at least half an hour or more talking about something else. So last weekend was StocktonCon, and went again, even though I had some anger with the previous one. Went ahead and went again. Much better experience in so many ways. Don't have an issue with going to StocktonCon summer at this point, which is nice because it was always the guy that runs that is a really nice guy. He's always been friendly. He's always been helpful. He's a part of SAC Anime, and I get to see him there all the time as well. So I'm really glad that I'm going to be sticking around with StocktonCon. It was strictly the venue where it was being hosted is where my problem was. And even then, specifically, it was with some of the management / middle management people. Shock! I almost always seem to have a problem with middle management people. Let's see, come back over here. Hello, Aaron. Hello. Great. Oh, Jerry Can Cosplay's here. Cool. I see. I've got it. I'm supposed to have audio going out, so hopefully everyone can hear me. Oh yeah, Felicia's not here. I failed to mention to Felicia that, oh yeah, I'm going live today. We gotten into a habit of actually communicating with each other. And so I do my best to let her know that, hey, live stream's going to happen. I want to do, going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do it tomorrow, type of a thing. I haven't talked to her about a live stream in, it's been since Monday, I think. I think last Monday we talked about, hey, it's coming up. But that wasn't a really good, last night, Friday night type confirmation of, yes, I'm still going to be going. She's not here yet. She may not be here. And that is okay, because I'm the one that didn't communicate with her. So where's Felicia? Not here. Good enough. StocktonCon. StocktonCon was great. One of the things that was fun with StocktonCon, and is always fun with cons, and I always enjoy doing with cons, is taking my giant size Lego pieces. Got a few of them over here. I got I was trying to stage some things. Yeah, I got a 3D printed part there. And of course, thank you, Dan. Just walks up. I know you don't take tips, Odin, but anyway, thank you very much, Dan. I love the Lego tile. It's been a couple of years now since I made my first pieces, and I had decided on an arbitrary size based off of using, I think it was a 30 millimeter foam rod that was inside of here, and I wrapped it with 6mm foam, which made it 42mm, and I decided that's my scale, and I still am happy with that decision. But every time I made one of these, I would make one, and I would measure one, and I would scale that up by the 12.9258643.2%, whatever it is, that goes from the 3.19mm diameter that is a Lego rod to the 42mm diameter that I want to use, something like that. I've been playing with this for a couple of nights now, so some of the numbers I remember. I also have a spreadsheet set up that does the math for me automatically, so I don't remember all the numbers because I don't have to. So what's happened with me working along and building individual pieces, even going so far as to building, building a large size minifig. Dan spearheaded this and copied a lot of what he had and refined some of it, and we made some giant size minifigures, which is actually buried in the box. There we go. Tripping over pieces. So even got giant size minifigures happening, right? And I want to make more. I really want to make some classic space minifigs. Oh yeah, and I realized I set everything up to record this. I forgot to failed to hit record. Ha! All right. And I really want to make some giant size minifigs, because started with this thing and had a dimension and talked about it, and then started creating other stuff. There's an inherent error that has propagated throughout all of these. It even went so far as to go to Ben Eady, who, bless his heart, got excited about it and made a transparent Lego piece that at the time I didn't have the ability to do at all. So we communicated, and he made pieces that absolutely fit with my parts, right? Everything's fine. My problem is, this all started because StocktonCon, this one got broke, which is okay. It's been glued a few times. My problem that I'm seeing is that this is a set thing that I'm really happy with, and it created my scale. When I started measuring things like the stud, right, the pip that goes on top of a Lego piece, with the calipers, it's pretty easy to measure it and have it be variable by as much as a tenth of a millimeter, right, or maybe even a sixth of a millimeter. It gets down pretty dang small, and not a huge big deal for those of us that build stuff big size all the time. But when you start applying math to that and start blowing it up to a bigger size, that creates a problem. And so my issue is with this piece, and then specifically I think this one, I started deciding that my studs are going to be, it's 58 and change millimeters in diameter, right? So, okay, not a big deal, but math says the stud should be 60, almost 61 millimeters in diameter. So they are just over 2 millimeters smaller than they should be. Again, not a big deal. All of us who work with foam know how big 2 millimeters are. Those of you who are across the pond with an educated measurement system know how big 2 millimeters is, and it's not that big of a deal. It's going to become a big deal. What I've seen with trying to make stud guides, right, a bump placement guide. So if I was to make a 2x4 brick, I wanted to make sure that I could glue the individual studs on in the right spot so things would still work. If I did this by hand, chances are a stud would be offset and it wouldn't stick together right? Well, this is laser cut pretty much with what the size of the stud should be, and this is my, or maybe not quite, but and this is my my foam one. Everything's still going to work. Like I've got the walkie-talkie that I failed to bring out here, and Dan made the 1x2 tile. The only two pieces that either one of us has made that takes more than a single stud for connection, and they work. What I'm afraid of is when you start making, what I'm afraid of is when I start making, where do they go? A 1x2 or a 2x4, start making a bigger tile, and I've already started some of this, right? Started playing with the idea. So here's the beginnings of a 1x2 tile. You really can't see it very well. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. Right. So I got my stud placement guide. You can kind of see the circles, I think. I can a little bit. On the red one, it's a lot harder, so we'll stick with the brown one. So if I glue these down, and even if I glue them down with my stud placement guide, in order to make sure that things, see, it's cut so it actually lines up in the four corners, and then I can contact cement and glue them in, and they'll be in the right spot. What's going to happen is this connection isn't going to work. Again, you know, is that a big deal? Is it a big deal if, kinda, this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be able to take a tile or a plate and set it between two studs, and it grips. But this, because each of these are a little over 2 millimeter, there's almost a 3 millimeter gap, it's never going to work. Does it matter? Probably not. If I want to continue making more pieces and making more complicated pieces, and I would really like to make some of those, the really small classic space sets. There's a couple of sets that are like 19 pieces, or a couple of sets that are 17 pieces. I should double check, make sure I have audio, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. All right, this is cool. No one's telling me we can't hear me, so. All right. Distracted. The issue is I want to make more complicated pieces. I want to make like a 19-piece classic space set, right? I want to make one of the little flying ones. I'd really like to make one of the little buggies that's got tires, because I think that would be fun. It's something I can put a minifig in, right? So something that would still only be about so big, something that's realistic to have. I can't make the Galaxy Explorer be the size of a small car and cost just a little bit less. So I would want to do just, you know, a couple of small sets, because it would be fun. They'd break down. I could put them in a tote. Great. If this connection doesn't happen, then I'm starting to restrict some of the builds that I need to do. And there's actually classic space pieces that require this connection. There was an upright fin that had a 4 bumps on the top that came down, that set between the bumps, right? It's a really fragile piece they don't make anymore because they broke so easy. Again, I could make that to fit my current bump setup that I've got going, the one that's on his head, the one that's on everything we built so far, the 58.2 millimeter bump. I really should make it be what the math is, which now means I need to go back and redo everything. And that's like, So do I just plow ahead because, hey, I've got a few things that I've made that are going to continue to work? Or do I go, well, this was the first one, I'm going to go ahead and make a second one, and the things are going to be the right size. So even the connection of this round piece that needs to go between the 4 bumps, I mean, I can physically see it here, it's not going to make a connection. And this is something else that Classic Space does all the time, where they take a cylinder piece and stick it between 4 studs, and that is a connection for like antenna and some of the lights. It's not going to work because there isn't going to be grip. It's funny that I know what the problem is, and I'm talking to you because I figured it'd be a great way to talk to you guys and talk about it. Really, the only answer is to redo from start, make the bumps the size the math says they should be, which means, Dan, I'm sorry, I'm changing the scale on us. I'm not. The scale is still the same. It's just the bumps. There was an error with the bumps that I just kept going with. And here we are a couple years later. I'm still excited about doing more of this, and it's causing a problem. It's now reared its head and decided that, well, this isn't going to work the way you want it to work. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have to redo. Not a big deal. And I'm realizing there's a whole secondary part of what bringing all this up, because I fell down a big rabbit hole this week after having this piece break. So, okay. Looks like I'm going to have to redo all the bumps. I have spent a number of evenings this week after work and a good chunk of yesterday because I emailed Ben and said, hey, this has happened again. It happens about every 2 to 3 cons that the fire piece gets broken, right? It's just super glued together. This pip has been re-glued multiple times. So I was like, hey, it broke. Would you be kind enough to email me the files so I can just print some new ones? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he sent me the files, which is awesome. And so I just printed new ones. It's like, okay, here we go. Because obviously, you know, Ben made it. It's got to be right, right? No. It too has in-between problems. The stud is my size because Ben and I talked back and forth to make sure that the stud was going to be the right size and the receptacle was going to be the right size. So those aren't a problem. This is one I printed, by the way. That's partly why it's a different color too. Actually, this is one I've modified already. But the ring is... I don't have any close-ups. The rings are different sizes, right? They're different thicknesses. You can't see anything. Oh, it didn't stay. Oh, that's weird. Why didn't it stay? I probably clicked it one too many times. No? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I hit 2, not 3. Just calm down, Odin. You're just having a live stream. No one cares. We're having fun. So here's the pip that Ben made, right? Which the stud works with my system, the receptacle and the ring end, whatever. This works with my system. He printed it in such a way that it's like a vase print. It has 0 infill. So if you were to put a light through it, it's not going to have the crosshatch pattern, which I thought was awesome. So I reworked the file slightly in order to get the outside ring. Come on. See, they're a different size. The ring I made bigger. It's like, oh, I need to make the ring bigger, and I need to make the thickness bigger. You know, and then mine ended up being a little loose. This realization took me down a pretty good rabbit hole of things of the wrong size, started measuring, started really thinking about this. And all the meanwhile of doing this, excited about getting more stuff built. So, I've been doing stuff, right? I've been playing with the Bamboo's 3D printers. I've been playing with the laser cutters. This happened this week too. And I've just got an issue of a propagating problem that I'm gonna have to stop and redo so it doesn't just continue. Which is, I gotta glue that part that just came off the printer. And I'll talk about this in a second too. Yeah. Oh, there's a Lego piece I actually want. So I should super glue this. This was something else that was like amazing. I'm talking to Shop Gremlin. Hey, do we have any transparent colors? And it's like, yeah, I've got some transparent green PETG. It's like, really? Because that is classic space AF. So super happy to have this. Super happy to have a piece that's the wrong scale that fits with my original gun. That's great. Gonna have to rework all the pips. Gonna have to rework a lot of things. Still want to make stuff out of foam. Been having a lot of fun making 3D printed parts. Love making 3D printed parts for transparent things because I can't make a foam transparent 3D printed part. This probably looks like silk, but trust me, it's actually transparent. I don't have an easy flashlight. Trust me, it's transparent. If we were to put a light inside, it would glow. Want to continue that. One of the things I got really worried about was making sure with making a 1x1 plate that was transparent, that if I had 3 of them stacked, they would end up being equal with the one next to it, which they are. That is totally flat, which makes me very happy. This one too? Yeah, that one too. I think that was just printed. Yeah. So all these are the same. All these work. That's fantastic. The studs are the wrong size. I even went so far as to make myself a stud alignment piece. What did I call this thing? It's called a stud and rod gauge. So this is my 58.2 millimeter stud that I can make sure, so for building a foam one, I know that's going to be the right size. And then the receptacle side is the 42, so it's a way of making sure that's right, so that works. But, oh, thank you. Got a flashlight to talk about how things are. I didn't have a flashlight handy. Talk about how things are translucent, transparent, right? They're translucent. I wish these were more transparent than they were, kinda. In a way, I'm used to having the really old, scratched up, foggy Lego, and that is exactly what this texture is. And so I don't mind, you know, but it works. And then this guy also works, which of course now means I could make a Lego torch with a flashlight built into it in order to get this thing to light up in some sort of way, right? So that's cool. That's really, I like that. Thank you for the flashlight, Shop Gremlin. Get it cryptid. If you don't have it cryptid, get it cryptid. And then with Ben Eady, all of his pieces were made to be translucent as well. After 3 or 4 nights of playing, this is all done in Tinkercad, by the way, which is still the only 3D printing program I'm comfortable, not printing, 3D modeling program I'm comfortable with using. Blender still bugs the heck out of me. I'm getting slightly better with it, but I still nope out of it when I want to just get something done and go back to Tinkercad. So all this is done in that, right? And I'm doing fun, like multiple minutia little things. The ring here on the bottom of the 1x1 stud, round, excuse me, 1x1 round brick. I've got it. It's got the little flat spots in it, like the small one does. Because if you look at an actual Lego piece, specifically on the round ones, and even on the inside of the round receptacles anymore on the bottom of the 2x4 plates, it's not a perfect cylinder anymore. The cylinder grew a tiny bit, and it has little flat sides on it, so it gives it better clutch power. And so I was starting to put that in order to try and get some better. This is still a little loose. That probably sounds great in the microphone. Sorry. Sorry guys, that was probably really mean. Started building that into this for the same reason. All that needs to be switched around a little bit, and not a big deal. I just don't like redoing things. I did that. I'm done. I want to move on. And I've actually rebuilt a lot of these parts 3 or 4 times already because I kept making mistakes. I kept assuming stuff I had before, stuff I was working with before was exactly what I needed. It's like, oh, that's right. I'll just keep going with that. Only that was creating more, and that's kind of what called my attention to it. And this has been the elephant in the room for a very long time for me, that the stud on the top is the wrong size. And just because I've got so many videos and hours put into building things at this scale, building things with these types of stud scales, it makes it really hard for me mentally to go, well, I'll just set all that aside, start all over again. And I think that's exactly kind of what I need to do in order to start to really make bigger sets, in order to make more complicated pieces. And speaking of more complicated pieces, there's a whole nother... we've started doing the minifigs, so I had interest in doing a minifig robot, because now that's going to be a 7-piece build, right? So I only have to make 7 giant Lego pieces in order to make one of the classic space robots. So the robot arm was one that I started trying to work with as one that I wanted to actually, it works really well. Right, this was one like, okay, this is a piece I can start building, and it's, you know, it's basically it's not quite a full, is it a full, maybe it is a full stud tall, but anyway, yeah, it's a rod, it's a 3-bump long rod with a hand clip at one end. It's got a stud receptacle in the bottom and an open stud on the top. And because I was going to be able to scale it up, a thought I had a long time ago when I first thought about making some of these 80s droids, robots, droids. Droid is something else, and I believe it's copyrighted. I could do something that Lego didn't do, and I was okay with that. That is actually a conscious decision on my part that I have to You know, it's like, no, I want to build it the way it was in the movie because that's the way it was in the movie, and that's my goal. That's what I want to do. And super, like, going down that road only. If I'm going to blow this up to this size, I should make a connection in the ribs of the arm, right? Because there's, like, little, you can almost see them. I can see them. There's a decorative, like, rib where the elbow would be if this arm were to bend. If I make the hand part of the hand clip into the hollow tube of the rest of the arm, then the hand can rotate in relation to the stud on the shoulder of the arm. And now the robots, instead of being stuck with arms that only do this, they can, you know, actually turn and hold things a different way. You know, that'd be, why not? They're big enough. So I started doing that. That's what these pieces over here are. So I started printing those parts. Then another thought came to me with printing of these parts. I still got the supports on this one. I like building with the foam. I like the way the foam feels. I like the way the paint on the foam looks. I like having it all be done that way because it'll all be universal. It'll still all kind of, chip my nail. It'll all continue to look the same, right? A 3D printed part with the foam part totally works, not a big deal. It's all the right size. You can see that there are different materials. And, you know, I could paint the 3D printed pieces. That's not an issue. And actually, with some of the looseness, if I was to paint this, it would work well. But plastic dip sticks like crap to plastic. So it'll just rub off. I'd rather not, even though that's got a bit of a texture. The door opened again. Ah, thank you. Chipped an ale. Oh, it's great having a moderator just in the other room, paying attention, hearing, watching me tear my thumbnail apart, and then realizing I'm going to complain about how it hurts later. There we are. Thank you, Shop Gremlin. So I started working on making this part. I like the way the foam looks. I want to keep the foam skin on the stuff. And I'm already building pieces that have, I didn't bring one out here, that has a cardboard core. Like my, the studs that I've been working on have, the recipe is I've got a 2-inch cardboard poster tube, and then I wrap one layer of the 1mm thick Costco cardboard around that, and then I can wrap the 2mm foam around that, and I actually get the right size, right? There's variance because of glue and stuff. It might be 58.4 or something, but it's fine. It's within the tolerance of foam. And then you just put the 6mm foam on the inside, and then it gives me more surface to glue. I don't think the intent is for that to work. Yeah, it doesn't. But it just gives me more surface area to glue the stud down onto something else. So that's great, but that's a non-foam piece inside of a foam skin that makes it look like foam. Of course, lasers lets me put, you know, my own logos on the studs, which is fun. If I'm okay with the cardboard, then why not 3D print a core that I can then wrap with foam? That was a long-winded thing to basically just say that. So that's what this is. I've got the ability to put 2mm foam on top of here, 2mm, 2mm, 2mm wrapped all the way around it, a bunch of 2mm because it's cheap. And I'll have the same look, and it'll still work. And then with this, which, get the support out of the way, I then have the upper arm that would glue onto it. Same thing. This is sized so I can wrap it with 2mm foam, and then wrap it with a second layer of 2mm foam in order to put the little ridges into it. And there's a connection right here, right at the end of where the last ridge should be. Again, I'm using calipers to try and measure something that's, you know, very tiny and then blow it up. So there's a margin of error, but whatever. But I mean, then I could make a connector piece that would just snap the two together, right? Like clip the two together. And that would allow it to rotate. And I've already put a rounded knockoff here that should fit the diameter of the cardboard of the hand for making the clippy. And then I wanted to make the connector that connects the two of them because stuff breaks at cons. So if the connector is a third piece and it breaks, then my foam handcrafted parts are reusable. I just print a new connector, belch, that's important, always belch, and then I can clip the two pieces back together, right? So that was that thought. So I've got this going. So I'm now starting to I've laser cut wood parts. There's laser cut wood parts in here. I'm now starting to design and 3D print pieces specifically to use as cores inside of a foam build in order to make Lego pieces. Whatever, it's fun. Been having a lot of fun with this. How am I doing on time? Oh, it's time. Let's just remake all the pieces, Dan says. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of where this is going. I'm really sorry, Dan. Still got some pieces, though. Let's go ahead and make it public. Done. We're going to put this into a playlist for Ghostbusters and live streams. Done. Save. And we're back. I'm really focused on talking. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Hello, it turns out I need surgery from elbow. I'm sorry, Jerry. Odin Makes, it's awesome that Mariah's here. Buenos dias. Let's see. Audio's good. Thank you, Shop Gremlin. It's also talking Lego, so yeah. Wrap the bumps with some 2mm foam. Yeah, probably could, actually. Probably could. Some of the pieces I got, we could probably wrap with 2mm foam. Those were the comments that Dan made. And that's absolutely a workable thing to make this work. My issue is getting back to these guys, which, you know, we both put way too much work into, way too much effort into making some minifigures. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, wow, the paint's sticking. Come on, Anakin. Let's just lose your head. Yeah, this is the wrong size, right? They're all the same. It is all very carefully built to be as handcrafted, but have the piece. Wasn't there a comic character like that? There's a comic book character whose head's on upside down. To have all the pieces be the same size. This also reminds me, there's a piece on the wall behind me that I think is another example of this problem. Dan and I made a giant Voltron. Dan Shop Gremlin and I made a giant Voltron. That's not fair that I left Shop Gremlin out of that. But the three of us made a giant Voltron for someone else. It was a commission piece that's gone really sour, but at least Voltron's out. This particular backpack piece, it's the piece that goes like this on a fig. This bump is on the front is the size that I want it to be at 58.2, but I believe the hole here is the size the bumps should be. This is one of the first ones that really started calling my attention to it. And this is more of that, there's a core of other material wrapped in foam to give it the same look, but gives it some support. So I've actually got a laser cut piece of plywood and a laser cut piece of plywood, and I've got the cardboard core in here, but I believe this is the size that they should be. Yeah, it's about that. Still might be actually a little too big, but still, it's just, yeah, not a big deal, but gonna have to go. Well, get the start over. Kind of been wanting to redo this one a little bit anyway, because when I did it, this ended up not being round because I was just going for it. I'm just going to build the thing, and it worked fine. But it bugs me every time I look at it that the barrel of my Lego torch is not round. Right? Does it matter? No, it's actually doing pretty good right now because I've had stuff stuffed in it. But where the seam is, it opens up and flattens out, or somewhere else. So I'm going to force it. So the torch here has a tendency to be not round, and that's not really what I want. But I'm glad that I'm gonna bother to do this. I guess I'm glad I've only got the parts done that I've got done, that Dan has only built the few parts that he's got done, which, you know, there aren't that many. But it really, it mentally bugs me to think that I have to go back and redo all that. It shouldn't. I'm building Lego. It'll be fine. It'll be fun, right? Anyway. All that because the really cool piece that Ben Eby gave us back at the last Silicon in 2021, 3.5 years ago, broke again at StocktonCon, and so we need to start all over again. But so what does this mean for viewership? I've got 2 videos. I've got one video that I've started the timeline up again and wanted to start editing, and then other life things happen, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So I want to get my Chopper's Leg video built and done. I've talked about Chopper's Leg before. I've got all that shot. I want to get that video done. Wanted to get it out. And I think I want to just start building some random Legos again. I've talked about doing Cult of the Lamb Sword. I thought about doing a bunch of other things. Honestly, this is still a big focus for me, and I think I would have a lot of fun doing this, and I'm pretty sure none of you care what I build as long as I put a frickin' video out. So I think I need to start redoing Lego things again, and Dan, I've still got more acrylic. We can make more bump guides. I'll have the right size bumps if you want one. All that for that. And a lot of that was also stalling to let the glue dry for the motherboards. Hello, welcome to the public portion of the Odin Makes live stream. I hit public a little bit ago. I was mid-sentence on doing stuff. If you just popped in and you're wondering why the hell am I ranting about Legos, well, the beginning of every Odin Makes live stream is set up as an unlisted video in order to be shared with my friends on Discord and Patreon. And so if you want to be able to have that early access, be able to have a comment seen before the floodgates are open and everyone else is allowed in, then please check out patreon.com/OdinMakes and look into joining at the Discord level. That will get you access to getting in early on the live streams, to on occasion we play games on Saturdays, but in general I've got Discord open all the time, and that is a really easy way to be able to communicate to me, communicate with Felicia, with Dan, with Shop Gremlin. And honestly, that thing runs on its own at this point because you guys, everyone who's already there, has turned it into quite a community that is supportive and friendly and sharing ideas and sharing goofy things. So for all of my Discord members, thank you guys for making my Discord a friendly place, a active place, and a good place to go and be and hang out. It's thank you. And if you haven't been there, please check it out. One of the things I want to do with Discord, because I've seen some other channels do it, I shouldn't say YouTube channels, running my Minecraft server, I'm on a Discord for the Terralith mods, and I don't interact with that one a lot, but they have a download page. And so I think I want to do that with Discord, and I'll start putting up all of these Lego pieces. So if you guys want to download the Lego parts that I've been making and the laser cut files that I've been working on, I think Discord would be a great place to be able to share those. I've got a .com as well. There's nodemakes.com, and I can put a lot of that stuff on there as well. But for me, it's going to be a lot easier to update, change, and whatever else, I think, doing it through Discord, which is weird because that means I'm sidestepping the .com. I haven't talked about this with Shop Gremlin or Captain Splitty, so we will, that's his wrong name, Jerry. So we'll figure out what we're doing with that. But yeah, that's all stuff coming up. Hi, everyone else. Classic Space, giant Legos. I have been working on the Proton Packs, and I got the motherboards glued together. They're on the floor drawing behind me. I'll be able to pull them out in a little bit. The goal with actually working on the Proton Packs today is to get the motherboards glued on to the packs and have some cable channels cut in, and maybe start looking at getting some of the panels glued together. Earlier today, because I wanted to use wood glue, I started wood gluing there were 2 pieces of 3mm plywood laser cut in order to be the motherboard. Not because the laser couldn't just cut 6mm, but I was making the holes a different size in order to make captive panels, so I can start building all of those as well. Remember last time we did speaker grill for the speech bubble panel. So all that's coming up. I've got some mail from Louis Cossey. You guys were asking last time, well, didn't you check your mail? Not the day before the stream. So I've got a box that's been sitting for 2 weeks waiting for me to open it. I'll be opening that up at 1 o'clock, and I'll be sharing something else with Shop Gremlin at 1 o'clock. So mail's gonna have mail call at 1 o'clock. Is gonna have some fun. I'm really happy that I managed to get. I was missing the bottom piece. I was able to get my the bricks and the plates to match up. I mean, that should be a dumb thing. Of course they match up. They're supposed to, but it actually took me a little bit to get there. I actually had to start making a spreadsheet to get the pieces together and double checking. It's like, all right, does this mathematically work with that and equal what I want it to be? And oh no, it doesn't. I'll add 0.5 millimeter. Oh, now it's okay. So yeah. Anyway. Sorry, Dan. I think not that you were super committed or hardcore. You know, it was fun and you wanted to do it, and you made a Blacktron figure that inspired these guys. But yeah, I think we need to, which changes everything, right? His hand's gonna have to change. The holes in his feet change. The pegs in the back of his leg change. Everything has to be slightly reworked. The walls of the plates currently are 20 millimeter. They should be like 16 point something, or 18 or whatever it is. It seems like 16 is too small. But yeah, so all that gets to change. Fun. Let me pick up and I can bring out. I'll check some check some comments, and I'll start dragging out Proton Pack parts. I'll try to stop talking about Lego for 15 minutes. Good luck. But I am really happy I've got that. That makes me really happy. That is a major childhood thing, is having classic space with the green translucent. That makes me happy. Looking forward to building the robot too. Been out here a couple of times working with the laser, because I was working on how to start making 1x2 before StocktonCon, and then the piece broke, and that set me down a different direction, and you know, that's fine. I needed a bigger box. We're gonna need a bigger box. That is one issue with building giant Legos, is you now need a giant place to store your Legos. The other big thing with this that I really enjoy, young and old, go to a con, you have the big pieces set out on the table. These are a touchable thing. Please play with a giant Lego. Everyone enjoys it. There isn't anyone who goes, why? Everyone's like, oh, these are cool, and they want to go, or they just don't care, right? If they don't care, they just don't interact with it. But anyone, it's a lot of fun, and so I want to build more pieces, make that a bigger part of the booth where you can touch these things, and yeah. Thank you, Anakin, for hanging out. So many little things were built to make these minifigs, a lot of which has to change. All right, let's do some comments really quick. Stephen Hall's here. That's cool. Glad to be here. Thank you, Steve. Schultz Division showed up. I'm here, but the stream is only running in the background. All good, Schultz. I'll be honest, I'm here and the stream's running in the background for me too. The noise of the head coming off may be Screech. Sorry, Jerry. Louis Cossey, howdy ho, neighbor. So what are we blowing up today? Oh. And Vixen, you still convert that into a Lego cup holder or a sword guard. Yeah, no, I could. There's a lot of things I could still use a lot of this stuff, and I'm not going to throw away the parts that are wrong. They will just have to be separated from the parts that aren't wrong, because no one's going to know at a con, at a table, what size is what. So they're not garbage. They need to be set aside because the project has evolved. Yellow is here. Happy Sunday, everyone, and Odin Makes. Yay, human-sized Lego elements. Yeah, definitely want to make more of those. Y'all, this is how you doing, Shop Gremlin? Shop Gremlin's been better, which is true. Coming up, that's I'll talk about that at 1 o'clock. Justin AA, you get a special coin the longer you do not talk about Lego. I'll never get one of those coins. I've got books about Lego. Yes, Schultz Division. SKS made a video on the Galactus helmet for the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. Has he fit? I've seen posts about his prototypes, and I've seen him talking about working on it. Has the full video come out? Because that's really cool. I love Steve's builds, and he's very talented. And the fact that Steve has always built a prototype, made his pattern, then recut all the pieces in order to make the final thing, that's like me not wanting to rebuild the Legos. I made one. I'm going to force this one to be the one I make, because I only want to make one. Weird mental thing for me. I only want to make one. Watch Steve do the prototype thing multiple times doing the hey, I'm talking about Lego again, about doing the 3D print things and realizing I needed to make different versions. Okay, fine. So the previous videos were prototypes. I get to do it again. Should go faster, right? I got a bag around here with lightsaber pieces in it too. Oh wow, Dan Does Junk had an apparition bother him. You gonna live stream after this? Custom Lego kit for minifigures. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hello, Ralph Morick, and Ralph may very well go do a live stream after this. So, Lewis, got your box. I'll be opening up mail at 1 o'clock. I've got the motherboards glued together, which is cool because that means I can glue them to the back of the packs now, and we can move forward. Oh, this slid. Well, wow, it's amazing that bugs me, but oh well. This one's okay. The two halves. This is supposed to be here. Can I get it to where you can see it? This is not. Again, not a huge deal, right? It's about 2 to 3 millimeters off the entire Lego rant. See above. I had put wood glue on both halves, smashed it together, and apparently didn't square up this corner, or it actually managed to creep due to fluid. I'm gonna guess I didn't square up the corner because the bottom, the whole cyclotron feels pretty good. No, it's just off. But you know what? It's a handmade Proton Pack, whatever. Much stiffer too. I realized once I was putting these together, I made a mistake with these too. What a shock. Odin made a mistake again? Yes, all the time, because he constantly feels like he's rushing. Because if he really stops to try to take his time to do it right, it feels like it's just taking too long. So instead, rush through it and just have to redo things. I'm not going to redo these. One of the things I was specifically trying to do with these motherboards was to make panels, right? Wanted to make removable panels, which we're gluing some of those together here today too. And I've got those, right? That'll work. We were making speaker grills on some of the speech bubbles. So the speech bubble one works great. Or should. I haven't tried it before, but it should just... There it goes, yeah. Oh yeah, well, maybe it doesn't. It might need a little bit of sanding. Here's the one that came out of this piece that was actually, hey, look, it fits! Okay, use the one that we actually cut. So... by having a lip that goes all the way around, and there's a bigger lip up here, which I can add a screw connection up here, and then that gives this a shelf to lay on, right, the one that was cut out. And on the back side, I've got a notch down here where I can put a notch on the panel so it can slip in like a battery cover on a toy or any kind of electronic. So it slips in there and then has a screw that goes up here, and into like a threaded nut or something. So it only requires the 2 pieces of simple connection, and this panel will stay on. I don't intend on having anything else connect to this panel, so I'm not worried about it, right? This is fine. That should hold it together, should be just fine. But I made an error with these upper panels. They're backwards. Right, here's my captive panel that I want, the complicated one, which I'm glad that, you know, I guess I had to decide which way was gonna be right. But here's my complicated one. Now I kind of wonder, did I just glue them together wrong? No. These upper ones, that lip is on the wrong side. If I glued them the other way, the lip still would have been on the wrong side. It doesn't matter, because I needed all the holes on this sheet to be the smaller holes, and all the holes on this sheet to be the bigger holes, in order for it to work the way I was expecting it to work. Because this is supposed to be the shelf the screw goes into, and then there's an extra piece that was going to go over. I can still make it work. And we're still going to make it work, because I only want to make one. It's not that so much. This time it's because I just got the laser put away and got all this cut out and everything else. And I mean, I could just chuck these and do it again. But this is small enough, unlike the studs in the Lego, that... Lego. Anyone timing how long it takes me? This is a small enough issue. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go, who cares? And I will just go with it and make it work. All sorts of things going through my head as I'm trying to like barely talk my way through that. Do I have the right? Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. Good. At least I saved the right piece that I want for this side. So those are all the right pieces for. Those are all the original wood pieces cut from that one. Matching up the grain. That's the original wood piece for that, so it fits. They should, I mean, the square ones fit no problem. This from the previous version wasn't fitting, so I don't know if I managed to slightly change this shape, but whatever. No, this one's off, so I actually get a little bit of a shelf on this one. All right. Cool. Want to get the motherboards put on. In order to paint the motherboards with creature cast, I think I'm just going to put it on with a brush. I don't want to spray the entire backpacks again, especially with the stickers on it. But I'm going to go ahead and glue the unpainted foam. I think the back is unpainted. Yeah, I want to glue the unpainted foam directly to the plywood for the best bond. I don't want to glue it to something painted on the foam. So that's just going to happen. What I need is the tabs that I made, so I can glue the tabs onto the speech bubble panel and move ahead. And actually, progress! Sorry, I'm wearing a microphone and I yell because I'm so used to having that being the only microphone. I'm wearing one here. That one's on. I charged the batteries. This one hopefully won't static out like it did last time. Okay. There's that. Anything fun happen over here? Can't wait to see your rendition of Galactus' helm. Right. Ace, I hit the like button as soon as I saw your name. Good job, Schultz. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat and the comments, which, you know, It's awesome. I'm glad you guys are talking with each other. Bye, Schultz. Thanks for hanging out. Ah, that's it. Advexen letting me know that it's not yelling. The script says that I exclaim with excitement. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. Here's the smaller one. All right, I took it to StocktonCon. I heard a click, which panicked me at first. It's like, what turned off? Oh, it's just the water bottle expanding. There's the panel I dropped on the floor. StocktonCon goodness. More super glue. So much super glue. Hey, I can glue the Lego piece together. Wonka dropped by the booth and gave me a golden ticket. It's actually pretty cool because it's legit. Like, I don't know where one gets something like this. One of these days I'll learn where my cameras are. Yeah, one of these days I'll learn where my cameras are. Shiny. Blinds the camera. It's actually really cool. It's I mean it's cardstock, right? But still it's pretty cool. So, thank you, Mr. Wonka, for stopping by the booth and giving us a golden ticket, and also gave us some stickers, which I don't think I have in here. But I got a Wonka-ism sticker, and with a rewind it, scratch that, start again comments. Shop Gremlin got a bottle of candy. They look like capsules in a bottle. I don't think that was the type of candy that Wonka was making, but if you want to call it candy, okay. Yeah, we're all adults here. You can call that candy. That's fine. Okay. Which is it? It's this one, right? Is that gonna help, or is that too close? So, got my panel. I've got the lip. That's the front side of. Got my Irish carpenter pencil. I have my top panel. That matches the panel that fits, right? And I got my back panel that's got the extra lip that holds the top panel in place, and then I just need to glue the captive piece only to this panel, and then it'll just drop out. Super glue. There it is. That actually hurt. I don't think I can use the accelerator on this. It'll just be a bad day. One thing I need to make sure, yeah, that should be okay still. I need to make sure that my funky speaker grill panel is actually sitting correctly. Otherwise, the tab that I'm trying to glue in isn't going to work, and it'll just cause problems, and we'll end up having to do it again or fix it. Which, you know, shouldn't be a big deal. Gives me a chance to work with lasers, but kind of just want this to work because I really want to glue this onto the pack and get somewhere. Pretty much just like that, just like any cheap electronic battery cover, because this is a cheap electronic battery cover, right? It's just big. So, got that one. Now, much like I'm sure mostly Ghostbusters, I don't expect these to be done when we finally got a wearable pack. This is probably going to be one of those, oh, we could make it better. Oh, a part broke and I should fix that. Oh, so I suspect that's going to be a thing, and I suspect that is a thing. I don't really need to, yeah, I kind of want to put, I like marking it. I don't think I need to, but I like marking it. Thank you, Dan, for the super glue. Which side? All right, this will take a second to set up. Would I make a Jason 10 mask? Maybe, Peter. It's been a bit since I've seen it. DJ Stumpy's here. Hey, Odin, just tuning in. Seems to be a slight delay between my phone and my TV, but hey ho, how are your other videos coming along? DJ, there's a slight delay for everyone. It's interesting. There's so many nodes and servers and spaceships that the signal's bouncing off of. Everyone is actually at a slightly different point in time with watching this. I mean, there's just a delay with the encoding for it going out. Because I hit go, and I've got, 20 seconds, 15 seconds of a delay before the signal comes back to me. So none of this is instantaneous. Which I'm sure you guys have noticed with trying to ask questions, and we've moved on and having to come back and look. And that's the way it's been all along. I can remember streaming in the 90s. Yes, I was live streaming on the internet for money as part of my day job for, what was it? It was like late 97 through almost all of 1999. It was a good chunk of time there that daily, 5 days a week, we were doing 2-hour live streams. And I was on 2 different shows. There was one that happened from noon to 2 and one that happened from 4 to 6. And I was the cameraman, ended up kind of being part of one of the hosts for both of those shows. Because much like here, and any of you who've done live streams or videos, it's just you standing in a room talking to a camera. Someone else is on the other side of the camera. It's like being on the phone. You're talking to someone. And in this case, there's a chat that comes back that I can talk to you guys worldwide on a huge group phone call. We were doing that, yeah, in the 90s with standard definition video that was compressed to be able to work and run on dial-up, watching on your real player live stream and using IRC chat as a method for talking back and forth. And in order to get a viewer count, the Chris Hayes or Carl Soleil would actually sit and count the IP addresses that were pinging, and that's how we knew how many viewers we had. Right? that was the level of we were doing that at. Yeah. So even then, we noticed that there was like a good 40-second delay between us saying something and getting a response back. So there's a 20-second delay or a 15-second delay between me saying it, you hearing it, and then me getting it back. Although the chats are probably a lot faster, so I doubt there's that much of a delay. It's probably all the video. So I may be adding something there, bouncing off space that isn't there anymore. But anyway, yeah, there's a little delay. That happens. Also, delays will get more exaggerated because everybody gets their own commercials. There isn't a commercial break that is uniform like television where we all see the same yogurt commercial. All of you, those of you who aren't watching on a subscription, on a paid subscription to YouTube, are going to be getting commercial breaks, and they're going to be popping in at about the same time, but they're going to have different running times, and then you're going to start catching, trying to catch back up after being in. Yeah, I get it. More than I want to think about right now. But hey, DJ Stumpy, glad you're here. Time travel exists. Yes, it does. Jason just finished a 1/6 scale Proton Pack for Frozen Empire. There are so many Proton Packs that have been built and finished while Felicia and I have been dragging our feet, perfecting this set of Proton Packs. It's okay. I'm really glad you guys are still here watching this with me. Thank you. All of you help with keeping the channel alive. The live streams has been keeping the channel alive. If it wasn't for the live streams, Odin Makes would have folded a while ago. So thank you all for tuning in, participating, putting up with us doing really long form projects like this. Hell yeah, I want to make more videos. I've actually had the bug to do it for a little while now, but I'm still in the. I'll come out here and realize I don't know where my 5mm foam is. So there's still a little bit of pain of having to get the shop going to be able to do it, right? I'm getting set up to start. I'm going to cut out more Lego studs, and the bandsaw's buried and facing the wrong way. So I was like, all right, I need to spend time in the garage. Ghostbuster Shane says, my friend Lewis sent me your channel. I'm liking the videos, and he sent you a package to open. It's always to get goodies. Yes, it is. I have the package right over here. I didn't last stream. In about half an hour, we'll open it up because 1 o'clock became the let's open up mail time, right? It's going to be fun. If any of you want to send a package or whatever, if any of you want to send something into me, Felicia, Dan, Shop Gremlin, the P.O. box is in the description of this video. Just address who it's for, send it to that P.O. box, or if you're like making little drawings, and just let us know who's supposed to have which one, and we'll make sure everybody gets what they're supposed to be getting. And it's fun for all of us. Felicia and I get a huge kick out of opening this stuff up, and it's really cool. And Lewis has been amazing with sending packages of stuff, and he's not the only one. But it's amazing that packages show up, right? That's cool. Thank you guys. I'm not trying to beg for packages. It's just fun to have that interaction. Ad vixen. It's always weird walking into the shop. Yes. Shop Roman talking about the delay, having the headset on, coming into the shop, and listening to what I did talk about before. Yeah, there's time travel. That old school. Oh, cool. I remember RC chat. Yeah, Ralph. When I make Full Metal Alchemist masks, maybe. Jerry can cosplay. I mean, everyone likes free stuff. Yeah, I love free stuff, but I don't want to be begging for free stuff, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's fun to. I like the letters. I like the pictures. I like the art. I like that type. That's really cool. I love Bevel, right? You're talking about stuff getting sent in. Where's that at? This is specifically a tool made to hold the 18mm snap-off blade. You got a base you can set down on your foam, and then you can adjust the thumb screw, adjust your angle, and now I can cut at this consistent angle all the way around in order to get the cutting edge of a sword, or a miter cut in order to have two pieces come together without having 10mm butted up against it, having a weird 10mm seam. I can put the cut pretty much right down the center of the miter joint like cabinetry is done, and that's because of the Bevel thing. So yeah, Rocket Props, love the Bevel. You need to use it more. Rocketprops.com, Bevel. Endorsed by, fully endorsed, and I think is an awesome idea. Odin Makes. He also has one that this is one of the 3D printed prototypes he sent. This one holds the hobby knife, the classic X-Acto hobby knife. You know, I'm sitting here holding it. This is a little tiny red thing. Looks like a tiny, yeah, anyway. Oh, let's go with that one. So this bevel, you got the plate where you set it down to cut with. You got the thumb screw in the back you loosen up, and this upper mat part flops almost a full 180 degrees out of the direction. And then this tube is where I can put the handle of a basic, wow, just line it up, Odin. There we are. And it's even got a catch at the bottom so it doesn't go all the way through. This is for a like a number 11 X-Acto knife or other round handled hobby knife that you can set in there. And this worked really well. And this was the first one he did. But an issue that I ran into with the number 11 blade on a hobby knife is that it is only 25 millimeters long or so, or 20 millimeters worth of cutting, and that's all I can do. And once you start getting to an extreme angle with foam, that's not going to work at all. There's an actual cutting angle. Once you get into more of an extreme angle and you're working with cutting a piece of foam, half the blade isn't even touching the foam because now you're on an angle, right? So he upgraded the idea pretty quickly, but still went ahead with this one because that he was working away on getting this thing going. Upgraded to this version, which holds the 18 millimeter snap-off blade, and it's just the blade. The red one holds the whole knife. This just holds the 18 millimeter blade. You can slip in, and now that it's just the blade, it can come out and you could cut as much as you could actually physically drag this and cut it. You start getting into really thick stuff, and it's gonna be really hard to make the cut. But these are all available at Bevel for all of your bevel cutting needs from Rocket Props. I believe it's just rocketprops.com. So there you go. Let me try and do a shill for my friends. Yep, there it is, rocketprops.com. How to use your bevel. Yeah, I like this thing. So have I used it a lot? No, not a lot. But when I do, yeah. If my plan was to try and make a Cult of the Lamb sword. At this point, I think Obsession with Legos is Eclipse that desire. But I was going to be cutting all the sword angles either with this or using the triangle dowels from HD Props. These SKS, yeah, foam, those things. Anyway, yeah, fun. Like that product. So, don't know, something. Wow, I went off on that tangent pretty hard. Showing something off. Forgot why I even brought all that up. I guess commercials. Welcome to ADHD Theater. Hi, my name is Odin Abbott, and I'll be repeating the same thing 8 or 9 times because I forgot I said it. Patent pending, I suppose. Probably Advexin. Ghostbuster Shane, yeah, no, these are cool. And they're not expensive. And the one he sent me, he included a ceramic 18 millimeter cutting blade, which those things are amazing. When cutting foam, your metal cutting blades get dull in a hurry. So it's actually worth it to buy better quality blades. That sounds stupid because that means you're just going to be dulling them, right? Well, yeah, but they'll retain their sharp longer. And they're a little easier to resharp. I don't know if I can use a honing stone on the ceramic blades. I haven't tried it, but I will. But I've already seen with Joker's Wild Cosplay, he was the other one that had ceramic blades. They cut amazingly well for foam because there's a resistance in cutting foam. Probably works great for leather too. Don't know. I got other panels to work on here, and I still want to make sure one of the benefits of having a co-host is somebody is able to pay attention to chat. I am not able to pay attention to chat because I am too busy focusing on getting my panels stuck, building my project, or talking. This one is this, yeah, that one actually fell all the way through. That hole I got lined up. All right, there's those, and then I've got these pieces. So this one goes here, but it's the other piece of wood, I think. Does it matter if I line up the grain? No, but it's fun. Yeah, whatever. It'll be fine. That's slightly out of focus, but that's all the fashion, you know, with a lot of YouTube videos. A couple of them where it's just a talking guy and the whole thing, the wall's in focus, but the guy doing the presentation is not for the entirety of the video. Oh great, you won't come out, but you glued my fingers together. Maybe try patience. I'll leave a gap on this one. I didn't put a gap on the speech bubble panel, but I'll leave a gap on this one between this piece and this piece. That'll probably, you know, tolerance and having space and probably just make life happier. Let's go ahead and huff some accelerant. Still got a scar in my hand. Where is it at? Can I get it on camera? Right here, from working on the Gundam, where I was super gluing some of the cameras and some of the fans into the mohawk on the back of the Gundam's head. And I got everything balanced, and I'm holding the helmet, and I'm applying the glue. And I can even remember listening to Jurassic Park on audiobook, because, anyway, memory. So I apply the glue, I hit it with the aerosol, and I'm holding it, waiting to set up. And the glue, because the aerosol not only is setting it off, but thins it a little bit, it drips and runs down the back of my hand. And once super glue is being accelerated, it heats up because you are accelerating the chemical process. And it burned the crap out of my hand. I have this lovely rivulet scar that looks like, you know, a river going down the back of my hand. Thankfully, it's fading. There it is. There it is. Anyway, careful with chemicals, kids. Well, it's in focus down here. A little more anyway. One of the fun things is I got the camera pointed at an angle at the table, and the camera has a plane, very much, you know, not all this is in focus. If I was to hold this flat to the camera, this as a plane is where the focal plane is. And then depending on where I got it focused, it's only going to be a couple of inches above it and a couple of inches behind it. That little area is what's in focus. So it's like, you know, here, which means up here is not in focus, but, you know, over here, my knuckle is, right? Anyway, focus. I complain about it a lot. There we are. That one, there's a little bit poking out. We'll just go ahead and... I'm not sure if the chemical reaction on what little bit of glue sets up the chemical reaction using an accelerant. I don't know if the small bit of glue that is exposed that I hit with the accelerant propagates the crystalline chemical reaction and it moves underneath where the spray didn't hit it, or if I'm only really setting up the exposed part and the rest of it's just drying the way it wants to. It's probably B, but Ghostbusters Shane says, I've got 10 bottles of super glue remover for skin. I'll have to send you a few bottles. They don't make it anymore. Oh, wow, they don't make it anymore? Now I'm waiting for spring to come so I can do the photo shoot. Oh, cool, Daniel. What did you get done? Finish this. Oh, you finished the Cyborg Tanjiro Zenjutsu Inosuke mashup. Wow, that's cool. You know, Lewis is reminding me that, well, super glue was invented to glue skin together. Done it! As intended, done it as a first aid thing. I split my forehead with a piece of wood, and held the skin together with, so got the split, right? Let's pretend my finger's the wound. You put a couple drops on this side, put a couple drops on this side, held it together with a piece of gauze. So I used super glue and gauze as a stitch. And I didn't put it into the wound, which you're not supposed to do because that gets in the way. That's not how you're supposed to use it if you're gonna glue skin together. Ooh, that stuck. Okay, it unstuck. Well, I got glue on it and I pushed it around. All right, now what I'm gonna want to do, probably, the smart person would mark which one goes where so he could remember, you know, longer than 15 minutes. Time 10 minutes. Lego. Hey Dan, been talking to the organizer from that May the 4th con that we did last year in Rancho Cordova, California. Just saying California for everybody else's benefit. Dan knows it was in California. She's looking at doing it again and has told me she would love it if you would come out again. Like to have you come out and be part of that again. It's still going to be roughly Star Wars themed, but I think it's going to be a little more on video game. You know, this... I'm going to have to... Remember the pieces are offset? Yeah. A little more on video games. So the workshop she was asking me to do, haven't really done details yet with her on that, but sounds like she wants it to be more video game themed and less Star Wars themed. But you know, you've got a giant Star Wars suit you built, so hopefully you don't mind it not being such a Star Wars con. She would love to have you come out again. She'd love to give you table space again if you want to come out and play again. It's going to be like the last Saturday in April, I think. Do an Inuyasha prop. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Shadowlands Radio. Hello, Odin. Hey-o, Odin. Hello! Uploading a new video on my channel. Good for you, Shadowlands. I need to be doing that. Peter's asking if I'll make a Naruto prop or Inuyasha prop. Thought about it. Thought about making a Naruto prop actually a couple times in the past. It just hasn't happened. Hey, DJ Sophie said, here's a really cool idea. Make a Lego Proton Pack and trap. Not against it. I really like the Lego minifigures, and even though it takes a couple of weeks to get a Lego minifigure built because there's so many pieces involved with it, and the more detailed painting jobs you do on it, the more all this time goes into it. Trust us, we've looked at that with some of the ones we've built. Not against doing the Ghostbuster Lego. Yeah, no, that could be cool. You know, this says for like what, Battlefront or just video games in general? That sounds awesome, and I'm usually very busy in April because of my birthday. Understandable, Plus, it's it's up here in Sacramento, right? So that's, if I remember correctly, you're in the northern LA area. Um, I think it is the organizer. One of the things she does, she's effectively a coach and an organizer for online video game teams. You know, like probably like League of Legends and other things. So Battlefront maybe will be another one. I don't know what they all are because I have esports. I haven't watched a lot of esports in quite a few years now. But she's a coach for some of these things, and so this is an extension of that. So I think she's trying to get away from the fact that May the 4th didn't, you know, is a competitive date because it's big for Star Wars. So I think she's trying to gear the con to be more towards esports. Totally cool with that. I am not going to tell her how to run her con. That's great. I've been to cons with a flimsier theme, far flimsier theme, which isn't fair. I'm not trying to say esports is flimsy. It's really freaking cool. The thing I loved about watching the esports when I did in the mid 2010s, which is the last time I watched like competitive League of Legends playing. You've got all the young people playing, right? And then you got the commentators who are, you know, also early 20s. And you start paying attention to all the crew, at least I do, right? That you can see on screen. And like the oldest person there is still mid 20s. They're very zeroed in on their demographic, I think. They were very zeroed in on the age group of who's playing and what they think. There weren't any old guys anywhere, which I thought was awesome, actually. And also it wasn't specifically, you know, gender specific. I'm not trying to say it was only a bunch of guys. There was lots of girls, you know, women, whichever. Weird that I feel odd saying, I guess guys is a easy, comfortable, generic term. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of women also participating, but still same age group. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that they were very much playing towards the demographic that I felt they were trying to do the shows for. And I don't know, I just thought it was really neat. And so, yeah, that was cool. I haven't watched esports in a long time. All right, now it's going to be... It's going to take... In order for the upper panels to work at this point, I'm going to have to glue a piece of wood on the back side, kind of like where this piece here is. Hopefully you can kind of see it. I know I'm not on the close-up cameras, but all the close-up cameras are on hyper focus now. I got this piece, and that's where I intend on putting a screw hole. So when the speech bubble gets put in place, I know you can't see me fight with the whole thing. It can fall in here, and I can do a little thumb screw or a snap or, you know, a bit of Velcro, whatever, to hold this panel in place. But just by having one connector here, the entire panel will stay on because it's got the captive tab on the back. You know, like cheap electronic LED candle lights. Same idea. But I have to put this tab on the panels that I messed up because I don't have the tabs anymore. Not a big deal. What is a big deal is I need to figure out where I have space to do that. And if I just glue this on, is that something I can glue on after the fact? Get out of focus assist. Nope, we're in focus assist. Out of focus assist. There we are. First time it just turns off the sleep mode. First time it just turns off the sleep mode. Like the camera's, you know, the screen goes to sleep. So you touch a button and it comes out of sleep mode, and then you get to actually work with it, right? Anyway. So almost need to Is it just painful for you guys to watch me work with this stuff? Probably is. Odin, we know how to fix that. Why are you struggling with it? So I want to go the shortest distance, which is going to be here. That's just format right now. Is there actually a secondary piece on here? No, that's still just format. Okay. Okay. Here's a chance for me to use my Bevel. I just showed it off a minute ago. Why not actually use it? And look, here's the awesome ceramic blades. I'll show it to the camera even though no one's cut to it because no one's here to cut to it. There we are. Rocket Props branded ceramic 18 millimeter. It's not actually a snap-off blade. No, it actually is. It's got the... Can the camera catch that? Yeah, there you are. The little lines. It is a legitimate snap-off, and it's sharp. Snap-off blade. What I want to do is I'm going to just cut a V channel, or a couple of them, between this panel and this panel. And then I need to cut one in here, but that's easier because these are glued together. And I should cut one here, but I've got a wooden... put a wooden box in here, so that's not going to happen. Just so it's going to be a lot easier if I cut the channels in now before I glue the back plate on than it is to try and dig them out later. So I want to do that. Come on. There it goes. While I'm looking for a knife, it's like, well, why don't I just go ahead and use what I was just talking about because I thought it was so cool. Well, there is a double here. Oh, good. That's a double wall there. Oh, that's great. Okay. It's more than just one layer of floor mat foam thick right here, which makes it a bit easier for cutting for not tightening up your tool and cutting your own wrist on camera. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. It's a little harder to do just on the side because I'm sweet. That is fine where my cut is on camera. Now the V-groove is cut deeper than it needs to be, so if I was to do two different things, one, make the two cuts further apart so the point of the V-groove actually meets where I want it. You don't have to be in the corner of the shot. There we are. But anyway, I'm just going to do this as a place to be able to give myself a trough for putting my, or a channel trough for putting my wires in. Anyway, that was the whole point. And then, yeah, there you are. There's the bevel with cutting out a triangular bit. Last week it was all about, yeah, this is also currently not set deep enough to cut through one full layer of floor mat foam. So I go one direction, I can go the other direction. Oh, isn't that nice? A great shot of your knuckles, Odin. Meaty paws in the way. And then I may not have gotten the tips to match up, so this may be tearing out more than cutting. Yeah, that's all right. I did it right the first time. I can see it's there. There we go. No, there it is. I just wasn't quite getting a hold of it. So I got got my channel cut that I can put my wire in. Oh, and it's actually deep enough too. Well, that was all completely half-assed, and I totally worked. Totally worked out. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna need to do this for all the wires that I want. And something else I want to do is I want to cut an extra 1 or 2, or maybe just make this channel wider and a little bit deeper, so I can do stuff in the future without having to figure it out. So that's what we're doing at this point. Oh Jesus. Oh right, Ralph was saying I just hope the V hooks not gonna be an issue, Ralph. One of the things that we did in order to make sure the V hooks are gonna work, because the V hooks themselves are fine. They're gonna hold on with gravity. They're an easy little click. We can always put like an extra little magnet stop or something between, lower the hook and something to help keep the wands from just bouncing out. But they're going to attach to this box on this side over here. And last stream, I totally boxed this in with plywood. So this is as solid as it's going to get to give us a place to screw or glue or whatever. I think screw is what I end up doing, the V plates as a permanent attachment to the foam pack. So yeah, not agree with Ionolith. I am not too worried. I'm pretty sure your V hooks are going to work out just fine. I'll go ahead and make that considerably wider. And then I need, now I do have to find, there's my kit. Don't cut the wires. Well past 1 o'clock, Odin. You said you're going to open up packages. You said you're going to give people an update about shop running. You said you're going to do stuff. But then you started actually working on the packs. So okay, so I need to do that. I need to do that over here. This is a lot easier though. I don't have to have the bevel for this. All I gotta do is just cut a nasty mouse hole there between the two boxes. All right, I don't know what goes into this box. I've got plywood in the way. I probably should grab a drill and just drill that. And let me cut a hole into the cyclotron. Chamber? Okay. Do anything less permanent? I don't want the wire's not going to bang around inside. Yeah, okay. It is foam. I think this panel fits inside of these drop-down panel pieces. That's the way Chris designed it. So I can glue all that on. Oh, that's not even a concern yet. I can get there from here. I can get a drill in there, sort of. I can get a rotary tool in there. All right. I'll get the motherboard glued on. That's gonna happen. Let me make sure. No, I don't want to adjust that yet. But it's 1 o'clock, which means let's open up a package. Okay, so I got two things happening here at the 1 o'clock hour. I've got a package Lewis sent in a couple of weeks ago, and then I got some updates with Shop Gremlin. All right, this is a pretty good sized box, and it's got some weight to it. It's not. This isn't. This feels like Starfleet Battles, you know. Core Rules style box set. There's the old tabletop game Starfleet Battles, your USS Enterprise versus Klingons or whatever. It was a super detailed strategy tabletop spaceflight combat game, and it was a rules lawyer's game. It was so many things on how the front shields work versus the aft shields versus the port shields versus the starboard, on and on and on, and how you could maneuver each other, and how it had a simplistic version of 3D battle. You could be at different altitudes, and that would affect what shields you're hitting. And so the core rules, when they came out with like the ultimate box set, because this is about the size, it's a little bit bigger, of the old bookshelf box sets like D&D and Talisman and all those games came in. They all came in a box like this. So the Starfleet Battles one came in a box. It was heavy like an old school phone book, which a lot of you probably haven't played with, because when you open it up, it was just full of paper. There weren't any tokens in it. There weren't any chits in it. There weren't any, the little cardboard chits. I don't know what else you want to call them. It's tokens. It's the things that you could play with. You don't have miniatures. It's just the printed cardboard pieces you would use to represent your ships. Didn't have any of that in this box set. It was just rules. Anyway, memories. Ooh, pull tab. I don't need to use the knife, which means I will be less likely to hurt the glory that is inside. Oh! Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. There's like 3 pages of handwritten letter. Personal, my eyes only. All right. Hey, Odin and Felicia, it's been a blast helping you two over the past couple of years with the Proton Pack. I hope this care package of other Ghostbusters equipment finds their way to a video tutorial. I'm sending you 2 costume flight suits I picked up from the Going Out of Business Party City. Oh, wow. I'm going to keep the inflatable pack for the kids since, I've got one. I know they aren't top quality, and there's nothing else. You can cut off the No Ghost logo patches for your own suits. No, this is pretty cool. I know the large is probably big for Felicia, but baggy is canon for the franchise. Maybe she can reuse the elbow pads. Oh, that's cool. I guess Shock Gremlin isn't getting into the Ghostbuster shtick. Well, not yet. Could happen. Shock Gremlin doesn't say no, that's for sure. Is there, Oh, plus 4X! Yes! Good. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, look, yeah. Now it's even got a female Ghostbusters in the front. 4X. Good call. All right. Printed no ghost. Oh, I can see through it. I have no balance. Just trying to step into pants, and I gotta constantly put my foot down because I got no balance. Yeah, all right. The hem is just a little. Gotta take my shoe off. Beep. Neighbor's here. Where's the... It's a great idea at grabbing stuff. I'm going to put my hands like it's a hoodie. There's no hand pockets. Cool! Oh, wow. And so... Oh, okay. Hers comes with patches and things. Oh, that's good. Which, of course, you know, we want to get our own names, so don't need them. Is there... Oh, interesting. It's got a elastic... Those are really cool, but those seem really small. I mean, is it just me, or as far as name tags go for Ghostbusters, these seem about 50% size, 33% size? Aren't these, like, much bigger? Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, hers has got a lot more going on. She's got the sewn in knee pads. She's actually got a legit no-ghost patch on hers, whereas this one's screen printed. And the white belt. Oh, the white belt's actually, whatever. This is cool. Oh, heck no, she'll rock the crap out of this. Well, this is really cool. Thank you. It didn't even occur to me to go look at Party City to see what might be happening for Ghostbuster pieces. Oh, she's got a... Yeah, I wonder if details are left off the 4X size because it takes so much more fabric. But she's got hip pockets on her uniform. She's got half of the old school Army web belt. She's got pseudo sewn on elbow pads that at least, you know, they're there. She's got, yeah, they're standard decorative zipper pockets that don't actually work. Has a full Velcro piece for her name badge. Just I've got a little square. Yeah, it's the same zipper. So mine are decorative too? No, mine's an actual pocket. What the hell? The curse of the fake pockets on women's clothes goes through on a Ghostbusters jumpsuit too? What the hell? Heaven forbid you put something in a pocket that's in front of your chest. Ruin the lines. You know, people just like functional clothes. I'm a huge fan of, you know, dumb decorative pockets on anyone. Okay, this is cool though. No more bitching about dumb decorative pockets because this is cool. This is really cool. Thank you, Lewis. This is really cool. This is me very carefully folding them back up and trying to put them away. Wad. I know there are Etsy shops and other places where we can get embroidered name badges. It's going to happen. The fact that now there are 4 jumpsuits in the shop, yeah, there's a possibility of Shot Gremlin putting one on, I'm sure. It's more like good luck keeping him out of it. Okay. Warm. Oh, this is really... Guys, thank you. This is really cool. This is really cool. And I will read the rest of the later... I will read the rest of the later letter. This is really cool. Oh, tissue paper. Okay. Want to cut anything? Yeah. Yanolith is answering something. Yeah, you like so. Right. Some of the stores are closing. Yeah, it's oh yeah, we do have an embroidery machine. That's right. Haven't set. Shop Gremlin says, I've got an embroidery machine. Yeah, that's right, you do. I forget because haven't set it up to play with it, so I don't think about it. Well, I'm not going to catch up on all this. Sure, Felicia can sew upgrades onto my suit. Yeah, I'm sure, Dan. No, not a problem. She can fix the fake pockets and add to mine. Yeah, I'm sure. No, this is cool. And yeah, there's a lot of stores in the United States that are closing for good in 2025. Party City universally is closing, and Kohl's is closing. At least all the Kohl's. I guess not all the Kohl's are closing, but there's it was a place I would go to buy Lego, and there were 6 stores in the Sacramento area. Come summertime, there's going to be 1. Joann's, those stores, I think all of them in the Sacramento area are closing. So yeah, not excited. I still enjoy going into a brick and mortar store and being able to be tactile and touch and see what it is I'm buying. If I know what I want to buy, then getting it online and having it shipped to the house is great because I know what I'm getting. If I'm trying to figure out what I want to buy, being able to see it and touch it and see, is this going to work? Yeah, not excited about having brick and mortar stores go, but I get it. That's just the way things are going. That's just the way this is going. So that's what's happening. Wife went to Joann's yesterday today. Yep. Oh, there's Roseville Joann's, like the Roseville Party City may stay open. Okay, that's good to know. And there's still other places to get fabric and whatnot, but Joann's became a great hobby store to go to. Okay, got a package from Louis Causey. Cool. Got some stuff glued together on the Proton Pack. Want to get back into that if I can. Shop Gremlin had something very uncool happen this week. Government. How do I want to word this? Oh, I've got a cheat sheet, right? Didn't lose their job, at least, but Shop Gremlin has always had an invisible illness, right? That's a big issue. Shop Gremlin legitimately is a disabled, handicapped person, but it's because of a invisible disability, not because of anything that we're accustomed to seeing. You know, not an amputee, can walk, can look like a normal person, but on the inside is constantly living at the very tail end of having the flu, that type of a sensation. Low energy, feels like crap, things just hurt, and that's a good day. Because of that, was getting some benefits, right? Getting some SSDI, some government benefits to help offset living. This is things set up for people in the same type of situations. There are thresholds that this program has that you're not allowed to cross, or else you no longer qualify for it. Well, Shop Gremlin managed to get a full-time job, and with one that would accommodate them and actually allows them to do remote work often when they're having a bad day and just can't walk, which seen plenty of times. Ended up, because of getting a full-time job and because trying to be an active member of society, that not only did the government decide that they no longer qualify for the benefits, and so now there's a 1/3 of the monthly income just disappeared. All the back benefits given during the entire time of employment, which hasn't been that long, is now owed to the tune of nearly $30,000. Yeah, basically, you have to live well below the poverty line. The benefits for these programs have been updated since the 70s. I love to complain about how my job description within the state of California hasn't been updated since the 90s, and I haven't gotten a raise. Well, these benefits are still set at 70s levels. I'm from the 70s. I was born in the 70s. So my entire life, basically, these have never been updated. And what's happening is not only has this greatly impacts the ability to make rent. This greatly impacts the ability to get all the bills paid on a monthly basis because a third of the income just dropped off, right? But then wages are going to be garnished, possibly. There's going to be the expectations to have this other huge sum of money paid back, probably quickly, faster than it was paid out. But even if it was at 1-to-1, that is now, 2/3 of the monthly income gone between not receiving it and having to send it back. So what Shop Gremlin has done in an attempt to get past these first couple of months, there's a major hurdle to deal with, trying to catch up with the sudden pothole that is this financial pothole. Yeah, there's a GoFundMe set up, not asking for getting so much debt taken care of. The idea is if there's only a little bit of credit card debt, and if the little bit of credit card debt, which is it's way less than what's owed back as back for these benefits that don't exist anymore, if the credit card debt goes away, then that amount of money is easy to use to pay off other things, and it won't be a big, it won't be. So what I'm doing here today, Trap Gremlin has talked about this online, talked about this on Discord. I'm sorry to come on and kind of wait towards the end of the stream to then beg for money. I don't feel comfortable doing that, but I know that this is something that has to be done, and so I just want to say that we've got a GoFundMe set up. There's more information on the GoFundMe. There's a goal on there, I believe, and it is 100% to eliminate the excess debt, so the amount of money that is being made on a monthly basis will be sustainable. And that's all really trying to do, right? Not trying to get the car paid off, not trying to get all that other debt, no, just trying to get it to where the monthly bills become at a manageable level that life can maintain without losing where Shop Gremlin's living, where I'm living. This affects me too. The fact that, because Shop Gremlin and I are living together, the fact that Shop Gremlin has lost a third of their income, that affects me. I am now covering all of the rent for where we're at for next month and beyond, which is fine, right? And I've been treading water this whole time, trying to get going. What I have to do, which is what I've been talking about, is put more videos out. That's the only way I can make more money. Is if I put more videos out, I'll have more AdSense dollars, and I wanted to do that just so I can get my credit card debt under control, because I'm spiraled out of control from paying my monthly bills on credit cards back in 2021 because of issues with the panorama and fallout from that. Whatever. Been living with that forever. I can continue to live with that. Fine. Don't care. This isn't about me. This doesn't have the budget to get the gas required to get to work for every day for next month, right? This impacts to such a level that bankruptcy becomes an option. Bankruptcy becomes something that might have to happen. If bankruptcy happens, gonna lose the car, gonna lose a couple of other things that they were trying to get set up to have happen in the future. Because bankruptcy here in the United States is something that's on your record for like a decade, and there's a number of things, a number of doors, on opportunity doors that were open are going to close if bankruptcy has to happen. Those doors can stay open; they just get further down the hallway if bankruptcy doesn't happen. So the whole point is just asking to help if you can. Greatly appreciated. There's been a number of people on Discord who've come on and already helped. J Period has helped. Jerry Rig Props has helped. Ace has helped. You know, a friend of Jerry's has helped. A high school friend from Shop Gremlin has helped. An old band member from high school marching band. And you know, again, not trying to ask you guys to cover the bills, just trying to get it to where things can be under control on a monthly basis, right? You know, we accrued our debt. We were adults and put ourselves where we are. We just not only had the rug pulled out underneath us, the one thing that was really making everything float and work, but then to realize that we're probably gonna have the rug laid back over on top of us and have to chew our way through that as well. So anyway, the GoFundMe is to please, if you can, you know, please help. I don't know how else to put it. I feel really weird begging. I do not like it. I've asked before to help with like stupid things with buying Legos or helping with, you know, Proton Pack builds. This is something that can affect everything. It really, yeah, and you know, it affects me. This is 100% them, right? I'm not part of the funds for this GoFundMe or anything else, but it does affect me because we're sharing bills. This, you know, it's the gas, it's groceries, it's every little conceivable thing can be affected by not only the loss of the income, but how bad is the garnishment going to be? Don't know. Won't know for up to 90 days. You know, don't know how big that is going to be, how much of an additional, not only not getting it, but how much are they taking back to put us even further back into being able to survive, you know, on a month-to-month basis. So yeah, if you can, and if you can't, don't be afraid to jump onto the social media sites. Shop Gremlin's got got stuff there. Share it with somebody else if you don't mind, if you could please. It's one of those things that if the math is the part that's crazy. I've got 500,000 subscribers, right? If 3,000 people out of that 500,000 subscribers gave $5, less than the cost of a cup of coffee, which that's ridiculous, less than the cost of a gourmet cup of coffee, it would more than cover the problem, and it wouldn't be a problem at all. But realistically, 3,000 people aren't going to do that. That's something that's really kind of weird to think about. 3,000 people aren't going to do that. I've worked at PBS. I've done pledge breaks before. And even at PBS, they're happy to get dozens of people to contribute. And that's going to a direct community, and that's with tens of thousands of viewers and everything else. So something like this is something that unfortunately is really hard to pull off. And so a big help is just share the word if you could. I don't know how else to put it. But this isn't just me asking for help just for Shop Gremlin. It is also going to affect me. It is also already affecting me. So any kind of help would definitely help for both of us. Thank you very much. I feel like I'm abusing my platform to ask for money, and I'm really sorry. Jerry can cosplay. Jerry rig props. Jerry can cosplay. I'm sorry your elbow's hurt. That sucks. Jerry rig props has already said, don't worry about it. We're family. He's helping out a lot, and I appreciate that. And I don't want to extend that. Hey, everyone watching, we're all family. Now that's presumptuous as all get out. But I know you guys care, and I know you guys have watched me for years, and I know you guys have watched us for years, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I've gone from I need to get videos out when I'm feeling good about it. I need to get videos out just because I need to do it. Now I need to get videos out because I gotta compensate now for a massive reduction in monthly income in the household. So at least videos coming out aren't my only means of income, but they are now a critical means. So yeah, Anyway, really sorry. I hope that wasn't too much of a downer. But yeah, if you can, please share the GoFundMe. Yeah, not looking to have everything paid off, and there's been a bar set on the GoFundMe currently already. In fact, I need to put the web onto. I need to put this into the description. Not expect. The people who have contributed have all contributed the same amount, and it's all a mind-blowing amount. And that's because a lot of these people are people who are very close. Not trying to ask everybody to match that. You know, if 6,000 people donated $2.50, it would, you know, it starts to become, it's numbers, right, and math. And so, anyway, if you can, that would be fantastic and be greatly appreciated. If you can share with other people who aren't watching the live stream but know us and would have interest in potentially helping, please share the information. You might know somebody else who's willing to help. And that's all. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for listening to me do a pledge drive for myself, which feels really sleazy. And I'm sorry. But thank you. That's thank you for watching. Hope you all didn't tune out for that. Yeah. Did Shot Gremlin post the URL in chat? I see a Jesus Dan, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Whatever that was. Jesus Dan, thank you. I do see there is a URL in the chat, so let me, while I'm in process of kicking my shoes off, I'm hearing knocking. I don't think there's anything to do with me or my building. Putting that in here, and welcome to the Sunday live stream. Enter, GoFundMe. I am adjusting the description as we're talking. So, save. Alrighty. The other jumpsuits aren't any cooler, so I think it's just the building's warm. Lewis, thank you. This is really freaking cool. Where are we at in the immediacy of the weekend? We had what we needed, basically, except for yeast, to make our own bread. That's where we're at. We're baking bread after the stream to have bread to make sandwiches. Trying to put my shoe back on. The tongue always falls down. It is nice to feel that trying to ask for the GoFundMe, there is a specific thing that happens, because I'm struggling with this too. If I wasn't paying half my monthly salary on old debts for old credit cards, it would be so easy to live. Similar situation. And so 100% of all this is going to them, not to me. I benefit only from having better help with living in the house. I don't have access to the funds that go to the GoFundMe. I don't have access to any of that. So none of that's going to me, right? In case that matters. This is 100% to help Shop Gremlin. And thank you all very much for listening. Yonel, you don't need to apologize, Odin, but I might be able to spare a bit at the beginning of this one. Thank you. Another fun thing with working for the state, I get paid once a month. And Google pays me once a month. And Patreon pays me once a month, which is okay. That means I got 3 paychecks, a big ass one and then a couple of little ones. By the way, What am I making on YouTube? I only have my live streaming basically happening at this point, and whatever little bit of residual comes in from the older content. How much money do you make on your older content? I got paid $200 two days ago. That's how much I made on YouTube with my channel. $200 for the month of January. Gotta get videos out. Makes a big difference having new content. Old content has no value. Thank you, Ace. You do a lot for us. It's our time to do it for you. Yeah, Google happens about a month after it's collected. The way Google AdSense works, all the videos have ads that run, and they all get counted. But much like how we have the delay we talked about earlier today with, I'm saying this now, and all of you are hearing it a different set a few seconds later. That's because the signal's being ran through different servers and through different nodes, different satellites. And much like what I talked about much earlier with Play counting IP addresses to see how many viewers we had, Google has a high-tech version of the exact same thing. And one of the checks they do is to make sure they're not counting those addresses effectively. I don't know how they do it. But they're not counting people twice. So they're not paying out the ad impression money 2 or 3 times to the same viewer because of just how the signal bounces around. And even behind the scenes, your signal will move like water running down a window, right? You got water droplets are running down the window of your house, and the water changes constantly. The stream does that coming to you through the internet. So all these different nodes get hit. And so it takes Google a good 3 weeks to crunch the numbers to figure out how many legitimate views happened. This is all part of how monetization works. Or they just go, I don't know, it's probably about 2/3, so let's just cut some of the money off. Whichever way they do it. And then that's how on the 20th of the month, we'll receive an AdSense payout for all the views that happened the previous month. So if I was able to get a video out next week, which was a plan, now most of the weekends kind of gotten away from me. I don't know how much editing I can get done. Then it would still count for February, and those views, which early on, for those of you who do want to do a YouTube channel, the first day is the biggest day. That is the day you're going to get the most impact for the views on your video. The next few days still have a high value, but the first 24 hours is the highest value that you get. And this is why so many channels put out a new video every freaking day, because that first day has so much more value than the long-term videos. Yeah. Hopefully with Brave New World coming out and the new Captain America movie, some of my older videos will get an uptick in attention for some of the Captain America builds that I've done. And that could help. Maybe I'll do better than 200 in March. But yeah, find out. Anyway, I want to get choppers. What is a chopper? Choppers. Star Wars Choppers extra leg. I want to get that video edited. I actually started pulling up that project, pulling it out of Never Edit Land, downloading stuff that I shot on my phone that I never had put into the project to try and get that video going. It might end up becoming 2 videos because it's pretty detailed. I've got 16 hours on the timeline already. And 24 hours is the best value. It may end up becoming a 2-part video. And then I want to do more Lego because Lego is just fun. And at this point, anything I build has to be built out of the stocks that I've got, which thankfully I've been hoarding those for a long time because I'm not going to the grocery to go into the craft store to get anything new anytime soon. Not for a couple months anyway. It'll happen again. It'll all come around and happen again. There's other lights at the end of the tunnel. In about 2 years, I should be able to get my duplex back that I was living in back from my ex, because I had a divorce a couple of years ago. This is part of my financial problems. Part of the agreement between me and them was that they would get to stay living there until next summer, and then I'm supposed to be able to move back in, and that will reduce the rent down considerably because instead of paying on a rental to live. I will just be paying the mortgage payment for where I'll be living, and that is dropping a 0 off the end of my rent. So meaning, you know, it goes from a 4-digit number to a 3-digit number. So that is, as long as there's no huge pitfalls coming up, or they're not planning something else that I'm not aware of. The agreement was they got to stay there to be able to build up credit, to be able to do things. The fact that I'm being treated as the landlord is to be able to give them the ability to have renters credit to be able to move into something else and establish themselves. I understand all that. I was running into the same problem. Sure, you know, I don't hate them. I don't want them to. I just didn't want to live with them anymore. I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't be in a relationship with them anymore. But I don't hate them as a person and want them to die. No, great. Let's take care of you and make sure that this works out. And they also offered something really awesome in exchange. We were married long enough that I would have owed alimony pretty much for the rest of my life. Yeah, the marriage was that long. So they waived all that in exchange for being able to remain living in the duplex and paying me enough to cover the cost of the duplex, so covering so they're actually paying me rent for the value of the mortgage payment and the value of the sewer and garbage bi-monthly payment that California does, right? So some of the major house bills are all covered with the amount that they're given, but they're only covered, which is okay, right? Because get yourself out of debt, get yourself going, great, whatever. But anyway, so hopefully in not too long, my living situation will change again and be able to get into a much cheaper living area so I can get my debt under control. And that's part of my plan, right? That's my thing. So everything to do with the GoFundMe is to help Shop Gremlin. By proxy, I get help, but it's all them. So thank you all very much. Dan Does Junk trying to get back onto monetization of the new Gundam suit build because I lost so many watch hours. Yeah. I'm grateful that I've maintained the watch hours. And what happened to Beyond Geek, Joe Gillis and his channel? Yeah, I still got to get his tapes painted. It's been months. He wasn't putting out content, so he lost monetization because he didn't have regular content happening. So this live stream literally has kept my channel alive. So I really thank you guys for watching. Really thank you guys for continuing to be part of it, even though it's been the same project the whole damn time. Thank you. You know, you Ghostbusters guys are awesome. Kai's back. Hey, I'm back. Hope I didn't miss anything. DJ Stumpy, can adding re-uploading shorts with links to full builds help? I'm still wanting to find out how YouTube works. You know, I haven't. I need to do the shorts. I know shorts happen. I know shorts are monetized. I don't know, but it's not a bad thought. I did a few things for TikTok that I can easily repurpose as a short. Maybe I should put that up. I don't know if that helps. And as a way of reminding to go back to the original videos, that's great. But at this point, a video who's been out for a year, their watch, it's not just the amount that they get watched, but the actual viewership watching is worth considerably less than something new. And I've even ran into that problem when I got restricted monetization due to the subject matter within the video. Pew pew. So it comes out, it gets restricted monetized, and then they get it corrected, and then it comes back. Yeah, the video got tanked. The lion's share of income comes from the first 24 hours. So if it gets restricted monetized during that first 24 hours, you've pretty much lost what you're going to get on the video. For me, it goes from making money on a video to covering the costs of the video, especially if you want to count paying for my time for doing it. God, no, even counting that, it doesn't cover. But anyway. Hey, let's glue some motherboards on. What I think I want to do is I'm going to glue the edge down first, and I'll work my way up because this is flexible. So I think I want to do it that way. And if it doesn't work, then I'll cuss. Just remembering. Jerry Rig Props, I think, said it best when sharing the whole shot Gremlin thing. They just got dealt a shit hand and need help getting being out of that. It's like, yeah, pretty much. Just all of a sudden like, pops into my head. They just got dealt a shit hand. I'm looking for needle nose pliers. There we go. I want to get the glue off the end of the super glue. The amount of energy it takes to do the live stream, right? The amount of I'm going to be on screen, I'm going to talk to people, I'm going to be on, performing for. So basically, I am. I mean, I'm not. I'm being me, but I'm being a more active version of me. Drains. So I'm going to crash and sleep really hard after the stream, especially with a little bit of the emotional of sharing personal issues with the frickin' internet. You guys are great. My viewers are awesome. You guys have always been supportive. You guys have always been positive. Yeah, this is the right way to do this. Just flex the pack and glue it on and work your way up. Yeah, I'm crashing pretty hard already. One of the cool things with super glue and EVA foam, it's a lot like gluing skin. Super glue and EVA foam and super glue just love each other. And it is a very quick and very secure bond. Oh yeah, so what if I sold some props? Anybody want to buy some props? The problem is shipping, you know? Shipping the damn things out is the problem. We talked about doing an auction on OdinMakes.com for some of the props a little while ago when just trying... There's a whole thing that happened a little while ago with trying to get a medical procedure taken care of. That hasn't gone away either. That's one of those things that, you know... Yeah, anyway, is being affected. Now it's like, well, I've got a Buster Sword. I've got Yuffie's Throwing Star. I've got, there's a lot of stuff that it's really, yeah. I'm attached to the dumb things that I built, so it's hard to let go. And I don't want to build another one. So it's not like, I want to just build another one. Well, I'm not going to build something new. So anyway. Realistically, you know, it's better to be able to day-to-day survive than have a silly piece of foam that doesn't even hang on the wall. A lot of my props are torn up because I don't take good care of them at all. They get chucked in a bin. I go to a con and they come out, and a bunch of people play with them and look at them and try them on, and then they get put back into a bin and come back home where they sit. All my props need repair. Got a drop of super glue. Spray my thumb, spray the wall. Spray my thumb, spray the wall. Glue's in the middle. I think I got it, though. Nothing like huffing super glue accelerant fumes. Yeah. Okay, well, that's working really well. Okay. Oh, this is going to make a huge difference for the packs. Things I'm looking forward to. Getting the collector tubes glued back on. Finishing the damn thing. I'm looking forward to that. For whatever it's worth, it is not easy to ask for help. Never has been. It's never been easy to share like that. Okay, this isn't working as well as I thought. But you know, if I just glued the whole thing, I would end up having the top half on wrong. I know that would happen. Oh, hey, that could work. Oops, there's no panel there, Odin. Okay. I think I got it everywhere. It's awesome that hand cut and hand assembled, which means as the Proton Pack went together, the individual hand cut parts all wiggled and moved and were assembled off center and whatnot. So the computer drawn and machine cut backplate doesn't match perfectly because of the human element of doing the other stuff. And it wouldn't match also if all this was cut out with a laser either, because human glued it together. But it's just, I'm looking at the back of the pack, and this, you guys know what the parts are, I don't. But this box here, the reinforced box where the V-clip is going to be, yeah, there's a notch on the motherboard down here that I assume is supposed to match up with this box, and it is more than a centimeter off. Good thing is, don't care. Still looks like a Proton Pack. I can actually use super glue as weld lines if I want. Ooh, I just broke the tip off. Oh boy, that's going to come out a whole lot. Oh boy. Ooh, all right. I may end up, oh yeah, 100%. I'm going to glue the other pack later. So you guys, you get the idea. You super glue the pack on. Come on. Just be runny. Hope you don't feel cheated if I continue on with this part off camera. Just so stuff can progress a little bit. Hey, super thank you to Louis Causey for sending in awesome jumpsuits. Felicia's going to be super excited about her jumpsuit that fits her that has accessories on it already. She's totally gonna use those. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. I can see there's been a lot of activity to the side here. I see a lot of blue with the moderators talking back and forth. So I want to thank you all thank everyone for helping out Shop Gremlin and listening. Thank you very much for all that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep streaming until I've got this glued, and then I will turn on an audiobook later on and just glue the other pack together off screen. So next time we can actually move on with something new. I don't think I need to, got my thumb, keep dragging just this process out. Why does it take so long to get a Proton Pack built? Well, because there's a lot of hosting a show and interacting with the people that are watching, because a big part of the show is interacting with the people who are watching. That's why I'm doing a live stream. If I was just doing a video and just doing a build, then I wouldn't have to, that got warm, I wouldn't have to stop and try and read comments. How come I didn't stop and read more comments? Because I get caught up with what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I got gaps. That's okay. This is totally working though. This is great. This just went from, I mean, it's still lightweight, right? And it's still soft, but it's a stiff pack now. This is great. What holds your pack together, Odin? About 8 pounds of super glue and a little bit of paint. Oh yeah, that's a pack. That actually, yeah. It's stiff. You know, was never worried about it not being stiff, right? Because it's foam. I knew it's like a stunt pack, whatever. But the fact that it's now stiff, yeah. It sucks that I've already forgotten Lewis's friend that popped in. Was Ghostbuster? He's not here right now. I'm not seeing his name recently. I want to thank you for tuning in and watching out too. Eastern 57, Eastern 57. Hi, I'm seeing that name. Shadowlands Radio. He may have tuned out. It's all good. Anyway. And that was what Odin Makes. Yep, it can finally hold itself up. Yes, it can. Good night, Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. Overhang expected on the motherboard. Oh, good, Lewis. Glad to hear that. I kind of figured. Oh, okay. I thought there was a gap. There isn't. That's just the overhang of the way I built the box. Let's huff some more accelerant fumes. Yeah, lick those fingers later. Hey, Odin, you haven't shown us the back yet. All right, here's the back. There it is. Going back to how much I enjoy trying to build something to make it look like what the something is, and having to remind myself it's okay to make a giant Lego piece wrist rotate when the actual Lego piece didn't rotate because it's not that big of a deal. This realization has happened with me more than once with the Proton Packs, looking at other Ghostbusters, that there are so many kit bash custom, nowhere near screen accurate Proton Packs floating around that 100% oh, that's a Proton Pack. That's really cool. And I like the fact that from what I've seen, that is accepted in the Ghostbusters community, that it isn't shunned that you're not specifically screen accurate to one thing. If you want to build a screen accurate one, then those guys can point it out and know that you made a screen accurate one. But if that's not what you're going for, nobody cares. They're having fun. And I think that's awesome. As long as I understood that that's the way it is, I'm not reading too much into it. But I think that's really awesome. I am... There's a big ass gap there. Handmade. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sweet. There's all that. And then, oh, I gotta be careful. Is that wet still? No, okay. So the panel drops in. It needs something up here to hold itself down. It doesn't have. Tape! Where's some blue tape? Blue tape is somewhere else. It's awesome. That's gap tape. Yeah. No, that's duct tape. Where's Oh. Sorry, I walked off screen. Blue tape. This panel goes on here. Will it go in, or did I mash? Ah, ooh, pinch myself. There we are. Blue tape. And then this guy. And this panel. Yeah, like that. Blue tape. Okay, so I got some bowing from this panel a little bit, so I might need more than just one screw attachment. But I can do that. Put one there and put one there, and that'll take care of it. 1, 2. But I've got a motherboard. I got one glued together. I've got captive electronics. It's actually got the side motherboard on it now. It's not just it's square. It's little things. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Appreciate all of your attention. Appreciate everything. Appreciate you guys being here. And again, the Ghostbusters community is an amazing community of people. Doing this project has got me a lot of new friends and got me to talk to a lot of people. And every one of you guys rock. I haven't come across any Ghostbuster or Ghostbuster community person that makes me go, why are you doing this? You're all fantastic. So thank you all very much. Thank you for tuning in. I will have a live stream again in 2 weeks. And, well, I have to get off my ass and get a video out too. So hopefully I'll have that out in less than 2 weeks. It'll probably be Chopper's missing leg, but, you know, it might be something else. But at this point, I don't think I'm going to record something new. I think I need to drag something out of Never Edit Land and get it put up. Shorts aren't a bad idea either. Let's do a really quick check of this. Bye. That big ass gap is a cooling vent for the electronics. Thank you, Ace. 100% thought that too, because that's where the gap is. It is right above the electronics. It really is. Louis Causey, I wish I could do more for you, bud, for your build, whichever. I guess you could do shorts of the templates I sent before. Shop Gremlin, I'll keep you in my prayers. Thank you, Louis. Louis, you've done a lot for the build. Louis, you personally have yeah, thank you. Don't forget to tell Felicia, Stupid Monkey says. Oh, I'll tell Felicia. Or do you guys, well, she might watch the stream, but anyway, she'll get to see the next time she's here. Hopefully in 2 weeks, I'll be able to connect with Felicia and make sure that she knows that it's happening. And we'll be able to... Yeah, it's still working out, right? I'm trying to remember what's happening in my weekends in March. Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Advection. I had forgotten about April Fool's. I do need to work on April Fool's video. Stephen Hall, and that is how Odin makes. Yes, I know there's going to be lots of different ways you can drag out the ending of a live stream, but this is how Odin makes. Thank you, guys. You guys are great. I really appreciate my viewers. See you guys live again in 2 weeks. If you're on Discord, I can talk to you later tonight. Oops. Oh, that was it. I want end stream. There's the button. I can't believe I've been doing this for years and I still can't find the button. Bye.